everybody. Welcome to the Hustling Sideways podcast. I'm Alan Halas. I'm a music writer.
And I'm Jim Love, and I'm a keynote and motivational speaker.
And when we don't have guests on our show, in the weeks that we don't, we are talking about things that we go through with our side hustles as well. So, here on the Hustling Sideways podcast, today we are talking about one that we didn't come up with an hour ahead of time. We came up with it earlier this morning. So, I
At
feel
least
pretty good
4
about
hours.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 4 hours ago. I think it was
Yeah.
good. We are talking about doing more with less today, and essentially, basically, how you handle being able to have a limit on things. I had a professor in college one time that told me that you will never have enough time, money, or resources, so you have to make all of those things work. You'll never have all
That's
of
so
those at
true.
once, I guess.
Damn, those
So,
Marquette professors really knew what they were talking about, huh?
yeah, those guys, they know what they're doing over there. It's a good, it's a bang up job they got going on at
That's right.
that
That's
school.
right. Well, I love this
Um,
topic. I think, and Alan, you came up with it, so why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, definitely. So for me, because I'm essentially trying to run an entire media organization with a very limited everything while working, as a media writer as well, too, as a music writer, like full time for a larger publication. Being able to run Breaking and Entering is always not having enough time, money, or resources for things usually. So that's where like I'm able to get some contributors, but it is on a very minimal compensation basis. Essentially, they're getting some concert tickets and some exposure for them writing. Exposure is like a dirty word in the music industry. I shouldn't say that. They get like they will have bylines on something other than their student paper. So, but in return, I usually ask them like, don't feel forced to write anything. Only write about the things that you really like. Treat it as your blog underneath our page. So I want to clear that up real quick. But yeah, it is also for me like that figuring out how I can automate things, figuring out how I can take tasks and maybe necessarily like that used to be tedious and make them quick,
Hmm.
condense them. How do you make content faster? But like also having preparation and templates involved as far as like putting things out or final product.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
everything lately has been the game is really to do more with less. And I think like just work wise, I think in general people are gonna figure out, especially with like AI and things like
Yeah.
where can we
Yeah.
cut some corners, where can we save some time in our lives. So
Yeah.
that's for
Well, I
me
mean,
at least how it works. But I
yeah.
mean with you, you're a one
Totally.
man show.
Yeah, right, right. Well, it's funny. Talking about AI, obviously that's, the hottest of topics, but you are one of the few people that like are really good at, like you can do a whole lot of AI and even for this show, for your life, I think it's really cool. But I definitely, as you said, I'm a one man show, on what I do, and it has been for a decade. And so what I learned pretty early on was like when I send out messages to people, to make them almost like rinse and repeat, where I can nab one, I can copy and paste, change around like one or two words, and have that be the message I send to a principal or a decision maker, whomever it may be. And then I thankfully have friends who are very smart that help me like with a website back in the day. So this is a very 24-year-old move, but I gave my friend a case of beer to help me build my website in Squarespace back in 2015. So
There
it
you
was
go. That is
yeah,
universal currency.
got to. Worked out great. But I went over to his house. We spent, probably about 2 or 3 hours and built it. And he did a great job. And then from there, he built it in a way where I could update it. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't like I had to redesign everything. So I was able to do that. Same with like a video. I have friends that are very good at that and help me with the video. So I really crowdsource some stuff. And but then afterwards, and I guess maybe the caveat to all this is things have now become a bit more word of mouth for me. So I'm not necessarily doing that much reach out now. If I find an organization that I totally align with, and I'm like, I need to be like, I'll send them a very specific message of like, here's why we should work together, type of thing. But for the most part, I really utilize like my personal network. I utilize things I've already written that I know would work out well. It's when I advertise, if you will, for myself, like on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever it might be. Like I'm not crumbing up with new content all the time. Like I have stuff in my iPhone from 2 years ago that, and by the way, like behind the curtain, every speaker in the world does this. Like we don't come up
Mhm.
with new content. We put stuff out. It's a lot of recycled stuff, but we know it works. And it's still the way we feel. I'm just not writing every single moment. Like sometimes I'll wake up and like Facebook Memories has something I said 3 years ago, and I'm like, that sounds pretty good. That's going to be today's thought. Like that's what happens. Like it's not we don't have to recreate the wheel every time if we had something. And maybe 3 years ago, I feel like a little bit different about that particular comment, but I'll put it up and edit it a little bit, but I'm not starting from scratch. So those are the types of things I do because a lot of what I do and create is really content heavy that people are like, oh, that's interesting. I want to hear more from that person. But definitely with like finding clients and with doing like writing things that maybe have to be new, I'm not starting from anew all the time. Like I'll certainly reflect on what I want to write, but I take bits and pieces of everything I've done over the years to make it happen. So I really
Sure.
don't. This is going to sound perhaps like bad, but I don't put that much time into what I do anymore. I just don't. Like I don't. Number one, I don't really have the time, but like number two, I don't think I need to. Like I figured out a way
Yeah.
to to make
Well,
it work
like
with
you
what I've got.
said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you said, you piece together things for sure. And I'm very much the same way and learning how to do that even more so.
Totally.
This year we started doing something on our website because Breaking and Entering's been around for 10 years. I was like, well, what do I do with that old content? And I was like, well, let's take whatever's still on streaming and every month we'll put out what came out 10 years ago. And then I'm like, next year,
Oh
do I
yeah,
do, hey, here's what came out 5 years ago? And you know what I mean? Like,
I
how do
think you
I,
should.
tweak those
Yeah,
things? And
definitely.
like, it's just a way to take existing stuff, like you said, take those pieces. But it also, I think, is a sign of expertise too when you
That's
have
right.
all those different pieces together. One, for you, it shows that you're being authentic,
Mm-hmm.
on brand with the talk. That
I heard that.
you believe in something you said 3 years ago enough to retool it just a little bit and adapt it to today. Where,
Mm-hmm.
but for same thing for me, to be like, we've been here, we've been doing it. Like it actually shows you like that you have a legacy, that you've done it because you see those things come back and you're like, well, okay, how can I use this for something new? So it's
That's
just
right.
getting smarter, working, I guess working smarter, not harder. But
Yeah,
like that's going to
absolutely.
be the role for a lot of people coming up in the near future, right? Like everybody
Agreed.
that's worried about AI taking jobs and things like that, the creative people don't have to worry about that.
No, we've figured out a way to put it in, right, and use it for what will work for your world is the best way to go. But I mean, it like the smarter not harder thing. Like it sounds so cliche, but it really is true. Like if you're
Hmm.
doing too much, like slow down, figure out a way you can automate this, or what have you used before? That would work. You don't have to recreate stuff. The things exist, dude. Like they're out there.
Yeah.
It's been thousands of years of the internet, but like of people writing stuff that we've now taken on the internet.
Can you
So like,
imagine what
yeah,
thousands of years of the internet's going to look
the
like?
seventh. Oh man, I don't. Oh, that's going to be scary. Me, oh gosh,
Right
yeah, I don't like
now,
that.
yeah, right now I'm already thinking about like, oh, there's probably, there's already
Yeah,
probably an app to solve any problem that I have or
yeah.
an AI tool or something like that. Like it's
Mhm.
gotten scary good already.
Oh,
A
it's so
thousand
good.
years of the internet scares the hell out of me, but
I know it's going to be
it'll be
crazy.
wild what
Yeah,
we can accomplish in, 5 years from now, right?
that's right. That's right.
So
Well, that's the
figuring
story,
out,
man.
yeah,
That's how we work smarter, not harder. And I want to know what
yeah.
everyone else does to
Uh,
make their lives maybe a little bit easier because there has to be things. Everyone has a life hack. Everyone has that one thing or two things that make their lives easier. What are your things? Tell us in
yes.
the comment section, or just shout
Yeah,
it really loud and maybe we'll hear you.
honestly, that's the best way to go. Shout it
I would
really
just
loud.
do
We'll
that.
see if somebody hears.
That's right.
Tell us what you do to work smarter, not harder. If there is a comment box around you, place it there. And in the meantime, we are the Hustling Sideways podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, you can download us there. You can check us out. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, not Snapchat. We're on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube. We're on all of the things, all of the social
Except for Snap.
medias,
Yeah, everything
except for
except for the one
Snapchat.
thing you said. Yeah, that's
Yes, yeah, yeah. LinkedIn, our episodes with guests air on Milwaukee
yeah.
as well. So shout out to them because I work there. And also, if you want to be a guest on Hustling Sideways, feel free to send us an email. You can be sitting in this room with me and Jim, or we can do the virtual thing. Obviously, we're getting pretty good at that too. So that is send an email to hustlingsideways@gmail.com. And Jim,
Keep on hustling.
we will see you next week.
Peace.